Hello, this is Mr. Wovums. Today we're going to be looking at a platoon match inside a Scorpion Pass with me, Curb, and Proto. I'm in my T-23E3, and they're both in IS tanks. The T-23E3 is one of the platoon pack tanks. You get it with either pack 3 or 4. It's essentially a bigger, a little bit slower T-20 that has the 76mm gun instead of the 90mm, which means it has abnormally low penetration for its tier, but it is a DPM machine. We're going to see why that's good in this match.
You've got enemies incoming. Either take them out or capture their base. Let's go.
This is a tier 8 match, which the T-23E3 has premium matchmaking because it generally doesn't do well against anything higher tier than it. Because again, the 76mm gun was good at tier 5 and 6, not so much at 7. Versus a Scorpion Pass, there's going to be a lot of time moving into position. And I notice a lot of the red team's tanks are big, fat things that I have no chance of penetrating from the front. They do have a weakness, however. Each one of them can be flanked and killed. And in order to make this match win, or do well in this match, you're going to have to do that. And like all Scorpion match games, it begins trying to climb up these hills. Because again, this is a map where, if you control the high ground, you essentially win outright. And there's a tiger. He's going to die. He's going to be useless. Take a look to see if you're going out on your own, because you won't get any support. Now I know in this match, both of the heavy tanks in the platoon are ISs. These are Russian heavies. They're blind as a bat. So I'm going to use that American medium mobility, American medium visual range. I'm going to go scout for them. And things will get weird after that. It's important to remember to stay with your team. We're going to see a KV-85 up here who manages to get himself in all alone. And anything out on its own is the weak gazelle. You need to go smash it before it could get back to its team. And if you're charging at someone, use the auto aim. The auto aim aims for center mass, and if you're charging at someone, that's generally going to be how you're going to hit them. Because any finesse is going to be lost, and you want the highest chance of hitting. Oh look, bad things. I don't try to stay and engage these two because I have no chance of dealing any damage. However, this Super Pershing isn't doing any damage to our team, so I might as well go up, do some spotting, see if I can't get in a good position. Oh look, he wants to give me his side that's completely unarmored. I'm perfectly fine trading here 2-to-1 shots because his take is more valuable than my medium, and I'm actually dealing more damage than he is. So, and because of 400 hit points, he's half dead. You always got to take that, even if you know that you're going to take damage from it. You don't run away, you don't act scared, you get in there and fight. And even though these tanks are close to each other, they can't support each other, which means that Super Pershing's alone. And I'm going up to support the IS-3. This is what medium tanks do in these engagements. The heavy is distracting him, needs help getting through the front. I turn the Super Pershing's turret so that it's vulnerable to everyone, and he just can't maneuver fast enough to live. Now, we have another isolated tank. Using the auto game again, because he's alone. And oh boy, another Super Pershing and a Yak-88. These are 4 tanks, which cannot outturn me. So we go in, we brawl. We brawl because they can't do anything about it. This is how we could win against tanks that should annihilate us. One of the moves you saw was when a tank is backing up from you, and you've got its flank, you park yourself sideways behind it so it can't back up. Works great against tank destroyers, works great against heavies, works okay against mediums. And so we've taken out 3 of their tier 8 tanks right now, and this isn't even a full match. So at this point, just by being a distraction and pumping 76mm into the side of helpless tanks, this is an insurmountable lead. It's all essentially who's going to get the most damage during cleanup. And the reason I'm doing this replay is because I see a lot of people scared when they're not top tier. I see a lot of people who will do nothing but hide no matter what their tank class is. It'll be the heavies that are, you know, camping in the spawn all match. It'll be the mediums that ride play tank destroyers. You just have to look at your surroundings, take your opportunities, and just annihilate things. Because if you see something and you're too scared to make use of the opportunity, you're not going to be doing anything.
Enemies looking right at us. Reloading.
And I load a red round for yoink, free kill. I don't even regret it at this point. I'm seeing a Top Gun in a not full match, a Top Gun in a match where I put my ass on the line. I'm gonna take it. And if I remember correctly, my initial loadout was 12 APCRs. So I've only fired 4 of them so far. And they weren't even necessary. Even with a low penetration gun, you get in, you get to somebody's flanks, and you could work it. Now I'm trying to find this last platoon up here. I think that they're heading towards our base, because I need to kill one of them to get the Top Gun. And it also gives us a lovely tour of the places that I never go on Scorpion Pass because they're too far away from the battle. And it turns out they've been camping their base. They've been scared, and they haven't been able to do anything because they just sat in their base. Because they're not top tier, so they get afraid. Rocks OP, nerf please.
Ready to fire on target.
Yoink.
Our team just wasted an enemy. She's loaded.
And that's a 10-3 victory. Something that's really great, especially not being top tier, on a tank that really likes being top tier. 2,500 base experience, and that's 10,000 extra silver. So it's really only 130,000 profit, which I will take any day of the week.